Of course. Here is a detailed travel advice story, written in the first person. Asterisk, the first thing that hits you in Istanbul isn't a sight, but a sound. It was for me. Anyway, I'd just dropped my bags in my small hotel room in Sultanahmet. The window thrown open to the hazy afternoon air. And then it began. The ezan asterisk. The call to prayer. It wasn't just one voice, but a chorus echoing from minarets across the city. A soulful, cascading melody that seemed to hang in the air long after it was over. In that moment, I knew this city was going to be different. It wasn't just a place to see things. It was a place to feel things. If you're heading there, my first piece of advice is simple. Embrace the beautiful chaos. Don't try to conquer Istanbul. Let it wash over you. But a little preparation helps you stay afloat. First, get an Istanbul cart. Before you even think about seeing a single mosque, find one of those yellow vending machines at a metro or tram station. This little plastic card is your golden ticket. It makes hopping on trams, ferries, and buses ridiculously easy and cheap. I spent my first day fumbling with tokens, watching locals breeze through the turnstiles. Don't be me. The T1 tramline will become your best friend. Trust me. It connects all the major historical sites. My second day started, as it should, with the Titans. The Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque. They face each other across a sprawling square like two ancient, impossibly grand monarchs. My advice here: go early. I arrived at the Hagia Sophia just as it opened, and for a few precious minutes, I stood under that colossal, world-altering dome with only a handful of others. The way the morning light streamed through the high windows, illuminating dust motes and centuries of gold mosaics. It was a spiritual experience. Regardless of your faith, for the Blue Mosque, remember to dress respectfully. They provide scarves and skirts at the entrance for free. So don't worry, but showing up prepared is always a good gesture. And please, take off your shoes and just sit on the carpet for a while. Feel the quiet reverence of the space. From the quiet of the mosques, I dove head first into the glorious madness of the Grand Bazaar. It's not just a market, it's a city within a city. Getting lost is not a risk. It's the entire point. One minute I was looking at a stall overflowing with a kaleidoscope of colored glass lamps. The next I was in a quiet courtyard where old men were sipping tea. And then I turned a corner into an alley dedicated entirely to leather goods. So, a tip for the bazaars: bargaining is expected. A part of the dance. My rule was to offer a little over half of the initial asking price and meet somewhere in the middle. But always do it with a smile. The best interaction I had was with a kind man in the spice bazaar. I wasn't even buying anything, just admiring the pyramids of saffron and sumac. He insisted I try a piece of Turkish delight. Then another. Then another. We didn't share a language, but we shared a laugh. Don't just go to buy. Go to connect. But the real secret to falling in love with Istanbul? Cross the water. For the price of a bus ride, you can take a public ferry across the Bosphorus to the Asian side, to a neighborhood like Kadıköy. The journey itself is worth it. I bought a simit, a delicious, sesame-covered bread ring, from a vendor on the dock and shared it with the seagulls that followed our ferry. The view of the Sultanahmet skyline shrinking behind you is breathtaking. Kadıköy was a breath of fresh air. It's less about ancient monuments and more about modern life. I wandered through its vibrant market, where locals were buying fish and produce, and found a tiny restaurant that served the best doner kebab I have ever had in my life. It wasn't from one of those giant, sad-looking tourist logs of meat. but from a small, carefully prepared spit, shaved onto fresh bread with grilled tomatoes. So my food advice is this: be adventurous. Eat the street food. Drink the endless cups of say offered to you. Find a small, family-run place and point at what looks good. On my last evening, I did something I recommend to everyone. I sat on a bench near the Galata Bridge, watching the fishermen cast their lines into the Golden Horn. The sun set, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. The silhouettes of the great mosque stood against the fading light. The call to prayer began again. That same hauntingly beautiful sound from my first day. But this time, it wasn't foreign. It was the city's heartbeat. My final piece of advice: wear comfortable shoes, because you will walk for miles. But more importantly, allow yourself moments to just stop. Sit on a bench. Pet one of the city's thousands of beloved cats. Watch the ferries glide by. And just listen. Istanbul speaks in the clatter of a tram, the sizzle of a kebab, the murmur of 1,000 languages in a bazaar, and the timeless call that floats over it all. Just listen. It has so much to tell you.